Well, for nearly a year, property reports have painted quite a bleak picture for house prices, but it seems that the market downturn might be over. New data reveals that home prices have recovered in every Australian suburb over the past 3 months.
With some suburbs seeing growth towards $100,000, an improvement labelled extreme and pretty unexpected by experts.
It appears that a lot of buyers are rushing in because they know that rate rises are coming to an end.
What goes down must go back up, and experts say Australia's property market is on the verge of a boom.
We've returned to growth after pretty much a year of negativity around the country.
News Corp's quarterly housing report reveals home values are on the rise around the country's major cities.
3 months now in a row where there's been some growth that's reflected in this quarter, and like Sydney, some suburbs have rebounded by $100,000 in value. Luddenham in the city fringe by 20.8% over the year.
In Orchard Hills, prices rose by 15.8%. Hillsdale, Point Piper and Malabar all saw an increase of more than 14%.
In the inner city, Newtown, Chippendale, Erskineville, that I would auction and would go for around 1.2, 1.250, these are small ones, are now going 1.5.
Brisbane, the unit markets in the south of the city, 27% for Sunnybank. It's a big rise for a short period of time.
Acacia Ridge, Beaconsfield, Ravenswood and Caboolture South were among the top Queensland suburbs that saw a significant median price rise.
Some people will say that there's still a pretty good chance that prices will fall again with the mortgage fixed rate cliff that we're facing, a few other sort of uncertainties in the market, but 3 months in a row of growth is a pretty solid trend.
In Melbourne, almost half of the city's suburbs began to regain ground, including Cape Shank and Flinders. And Adelaide's northern suburbs have dominated the top 10 for both quarterly and 12-month growth.
The uncertainty was really putting a stop to the market, and there's not been a lot of listings, but this is the signal now where I think a lot more people will sell, a lot more buyers will have certainty.
As for renters, the forecast is still grim.
Improving house prices in the short term, not going to make it any easier for renters. The problems that renters face are that there's not enough properties to rent.
And while borrowing capacities have taken a big hit with interest rate rises, it seems now is the time to make a move if you can afford it.
First home buyers have got a great opportunity right now because in many instances rents are becoming like auctions. There is so much fighting and demand between tenants for applications. So right now is probably a great opportunity to make the shift.
One of the big problems of the interest rate rises is that even though house prices didn't fall as quickly as expected, people's borrowing power did. So most people are actually able to borrow about 30% less than they were this time last year.
There is this fear of missing out if they don't jump in. This is something that happened during the boom. We haven't seen it for a year, but there are early signs of it.
And you can find your suburb's value and more information in your local News Corp paper today and also online.